Good morning, namaste. I'm Monica. Welcome to this morning's practice. So, get out your yoga mat and come to a comfortable, easy pose. And let's wait for everyone to join. Good morning, all of you who are joining live. Such a beautiful day. Such a beautiful moment. So this practice is practice for staying present, or rather, really basking in this moment, really feeling it, as if it was your only moment to live. It is your only moment. Right, okay, so close your eyes, bring your awareness within. Tune into your breath. Notice the texture of your breath. And let the breath get deeper and longer so we settle into this moment together. Letting everything be as it is. Thoughts and feelings, sense perceptions. Just allowing it all, that beautiful flow of consciousness, of awareness. Good, and then gently drop your chin to your chest. Let's start to circle the neck to warm up. Moving with the breath. Starting to open up those channels of energy that get blocked by stress, sedentary lifestyle, negative thoughts. Letting that flow, letting that energy flow. Circle the other way. Inhale when the throat's open. Exhale when the throat closes. And as we're moving through our practice, that we're allowing the mind to slow down as the breath slows down. Good. Gently bringing your head to the center. Flutter your eyes open. Interlace your fingers in front of your chest. Push the palms away so you stretch your shoulder blades and lift. How's that feel in your shoulders? Look up. Good. Take the left hand across, the right hand back, and gently twist. On an inhale, coming to sitting forward bend. Forehead is coming down on the mat or on the brick. Stretching out the hips and the spine, and then roll up one vertebra at a time, like a rag doll. And then when you come all the way up, if you're crossing your legs, cross them the other way. So we're stretching the hips a little differently. When you interlace your fingers in front of your chest, change the interlace of the fingers, and then push the palms away and lift. Looking up, stretching the shoulders, the back, the spine. Good, and then the right hand is coming across, the left hand back to twist. Good, and then releasing back to a forward bend, letting everything stretch out. And then rolling up one vertebra at a time. Good. When you come all the way up, let's uncross the legs and shake them out. Not to stay too long this morning and cross-legged. Give your legs a shake and then bring the soles of your feet together. Let's start with the hips. Little butterfly. How are the hips feeling this morning? Close your eyes so you feel your sit bones and you're letting your hips loosen up at their own pace. Lengthen the spine. Feel like you're levitating from the crown of your head. Good. Okay, fluttering your eyes open. Let's take the left leg out and butterfly only the right side. Stretch out that left leg nice and straight, and then inhale, take the arms overhead. Looking up one more time. Good. Take the right hand across, the left hand back, and doing another seated twist. Keeping the spine nice and long. Good. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, we're coming to Janu Shirshasana, or head to knee pose. Not holding it too terribly long in our warm-up, so reaching over your left leg, coming all the way up, stretching up, and then exhale, hands to your heart. Good. Okay, let's try Baddha Konasana one more time. Making a little nest for your toes. Change which hand's on the top, so you do it a little differently. Lift in the spine. Good. Okay, forehead towards your toes. Rounded spine. Little movements with your head to loosen up a little more in the back of the spine. Good, and then rolling up again, one vertebra at a time. When you come all the way up, taking the right leg out, straight from the hip. Nice straight leg, butterfly the left side. Good, and then stretch up, look up. Good, all right, left hand across, we're twisting to the right. This is an easy twist in our warm-up. Good, inhale, arms overhead, exhale, forward and down, so you lengthen the spine, and then let your back round, forehead's down on your knee or on a prop. Good, and then reaching over your right leg, engaging the core to come all the way up, stretch up, and then hands to your heart. Good, okay, let's cross the legs, and we're going to do a couple rounds of Kapalabhati together. So, so far I haven't done very much pranayama static, just sitting. We've been doing them in poses. So pranayama is very, very important in yoga to, again, move the energy, and it cleanses your lungs. It's a very deep cleanse for your lungs, so for your whole body. And of course, Kapalabhati means shining skull. So what that means is that when we do the breath hold at the end of our set, that you are focusing on the third eye, which is this space right here. So your mind, in other words, and you're allowing your mind to relax a little bit and sense into a stillness, the stillness of your awareness, and not getting so caught up in thought. Thought's just going to fade a little bit to the background. So we'll do 2 rounds together. So find a comfortable seated position, and then take a slow, deep breath in. And then on the exhale, belly towards your spine, pulling the belly back. Back of the waist drops a little bit. Inhale to the belly. Exhale, belly towards your spine to support the low back. One more nice breath in. Good, and then exhale. So these are exhale, belly towards your spine. Nice breath in. Slow breath out, belly to spine. Nice slow deep breath in. And then belly to spine. Now taking a 3/4 breath in and hold your breath, focusing on the third eye. Completely relax. Good, then release your breath if you haven't already. And take a slow deep breath in. Exhale, navel to spine. Feel those abdominal muscles working. Deep breath in and your diaphragm stretches, and then exhale. Diaphragm pops back under the rib cage. One more nice breath in, and then good, and then exhale. Slow, deep breath in. Doesn't that feel good? Exhale, squeeze the air out. Nice deep breath in. More space now, and then exhale. Now a 3/4 breath in to hold the breath. Feeling some stillness in the body and the mind. Good, and then release your breath. Flutter your eyes open. Take a moment. Feel more calm, more centered, more grounded. Feel your aliveness. Okay, and then release. Beautiful. Let's shake out the legs one more time and then bring them out in a V shape. So we're doing a little bit of stillness, a little bit of movement. So I'm going to start to add some movement after all that stillness. Crossing one thumb over the other thumb. Waking up the hamstrings, the lower back and the hips, the spine, and then cross your thumbs the other way. So to me, yoga is something like dance in the sense that you can express yourself through these movements and poses. So just allow your body to express in a way that feels good, and try not to think about, am I doing it right, or any kind of a judgmental mind. Let it flow. Let your energy flow. Releasing any blockages caused by stress, any tightness in the joints, in the muscles, in the nervous system. I'm just changing directions back and forth, flowing, feeling very wave-like. And then coming to a forward bend. Your head might not touch. You could use your two fists to rest, or use a prop, a pillow, or a brick. Good, and then roll up one vertebra at a time. Once you come all the way up, take the arms overhead, cross your thumbs one more time and stretch. Let's take the right arm down so the back of your right hand is beside your right leg. Left arm is coming over, and then look up under your left arm. This is a ballet stretch. Some space in the rib cage. Nice deep breaths. Good, now turn your head to face your right knee. And then ultra slowly walking your hands back to the center. Very slowly. Coming back to your forward bend. This time, reach your arms in front of you. Inhale, engage the core to come up and look up. Good. And then the back of your left hand comes alongside of your left leg. We're doing this right side stretch and looking up under your right arm. Long, deep breaths. Good, and then turning your head to face your left knee. And then ultra slowly coming back to the center. Be really careful here not to strain your back. And then one more time to reach, coming all the way up, stretch up and look up. Hands to your heart. Good. All right, let's bring the legs back in, give them another little shake, and then come to hands and knees. All right, let's start with cat and cow. So we did some stretching. We're going to go back to movement, start to wake up the spine and the breath. This is as fast or as slow as you want to go. Good. And then let's add a little bit of core work to our cat and cow. So taking the right leg back, lift it up, same height as your hip. Take the left arm out, and then we're going to do like a curl, like a crunch, and then a stretch out, a curl, and a stretch. Exhale, curl. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, curl. And then we're going to stretch out to hold. And let's hold for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2. One more nice breath. And then we're going to release to child's pose, stretching out the lower back. Letting your breathing slow down. Good, and then coming back up to hands and knees, we'll do the other side. So left leg goes back, stretch the Achilles in the back of your knee, lift that left leg up, take the right arm out, and then on an exhale, a little curl. Inhale, stretch. Like you're a rubber band being pulled from your arm and your leg. Good, now let's hold the stretch for 5 deep breaths. So here's 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, one more deep breath, and child's pose. So we're going to take a moment in child's pose, and then go to downward facing dog. So stretch out your back in child's pose, and then tuck your toes under. So you're in child's pose, but tucking your toes and stretching your toes and the arches of your feet. And then coming up to hands and knees, lift the hips. Our first downward dog, start to walk it out a little bit. Good, and then let's walk up to the front of the mat. Or you can hop if you like to hop. Coming up to the front of the mat, holding on to your elbows, and sway a little bit from side to side. Good. All right, releasing the elbows, bend the knees, roll up. Stretching your spine all the way up. And when you come all the way up, take the arms overhead. Have a nice stretch. Cross your thumbs again, little back bend. And hands to your heart. Okay, so yesterday we did some sun salutations. Today we're going to do a different variation. So a little bit different movements in the sun salutation. Feet and legs together, a little gap in the heels. Inhale, taking the arms overhead to stretch, or back bend. Good. Hinge from your waist, coming forward and down. Hands beside your feet or on your bricks. Taking your right leg back in a low lunge. Good. Once you have your low lunge, let's take the left hand up and look at it. So opening up that left side. Good. Now take the left hand down and bring the right hand up. Staying in the same lunge, open up the right side. Good. Bringing the right hand down. Coming to a high lunge. So that means straightening that right leg as best as you can. And then step the left leg to the right leg, little high plank. So feeling a little buoyancy in your hips in this high plank. And then dip. Knees, chest, chin. Exhale. Remember, elbows are staying into the rib cage as you come up to cobra, downward facing dog. walking it out a little bit. Okay, little movements of your head in downward dog. Nodding your head like you're saying yes. And then like shaking your head like you're saying no. Good, and then look straight ahead. Take your right foot forward. So you're back in the low lunge. So the left knee's coming down. Using your bricks if you need them. Taking the left hand up to stretch the left side. Keep sinking that left hip down. Nice deep breaths. Good, and then bring the left hand down. Take the right hand up. Little twist. Good, right hand's coming down. On your next breath out, take your left foot forward, standing forward bend. Softening the knees, bringing your wings all the way out. Arch back. Or stretch out, hands to prayer. Other side. Inhale, arms overhead. On an exhale, standing forward bend. Hands beside your feet or on your bricks. Left leg is coming back. Back to the low lunge. This time we're going to do the crescent moon variation. So arms are coming overhead. Sinking that left hip towards the mat as you arch back in the spine. Good. All right. Hands back to the mat. High lunge. Join your right leg to your left leg. So we're in a high plank. On an exhale, knees, chest, chin. Keeping the toes connected to the mat in the Ashtanga pose. Downward facing dog. After you've done the cobra, walking it out if you need to. All right, let's hold downward dog for 5 deep breaths. Make sure your fingers are connected to the mat, so you can take a moment and look at your fingers. So the whole fingers are connected, middle fingers are facing forward. And then we'll breathe for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2. Good. Now look straight ahead. Take the left foot forward. We're coming to the low lunge, so gently bringing the right knee down or on a folded blanket. Arms overhead. Keeping that right hip sinking towards the mat. Letting the spine arch back a little bit in a crescent moon shape for your back. And then bringing your hands to the mat, taking a nice breath in. On the exhale, taking your right foot forward, standing forward bend. Good. Inhale, bringing your wings out, so coming all the way up with your core. Standing back bend, and then hands to your heart. Good. Okay, let's do one more round, a little bit different variation. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, we're going to fold one more time. And then taking the right leg back in a high lunge. So on the ball of your right foot, and then bringing the arms overhead. So standing up in a high lunge. A bit of a challenge for the balance. If this is too easy for you, you can look up. Good. Okay, bringing your hands to your heart. We're going to take the right elbow over the left knee and twist. So reaching over to the outside of your left knee and then pressing your thumbs towards your sternum. So a little stillness in this pose. Good, and then coming back to the center slowly, arms overhead, stretching in the spine, looking up to challenge the balance, and then reaching with your arms, hinging from the waist, framing that left foot with your hands. We're going to straighten the left leg, stretching the left hamstring. Good, all right, back to this high lunge, and then plank pose. On an exhale, dip, knees, chest, chin, cobra, downward facing dog, or child's pose if you need to have a little rest. And we'll steady the breath in downward dog. Good, and then looking straight ahead, taking the right foot straight between your hands, coming back up to this high lunge. Once you've got high lunge, hands to your heart, and we're twisting the other way. So taking your left elbow, crossing it to the outside of your right knee. Good, coming back to the center, arms overhead, looking up. If you want to challenge your balance. Good, all right. So we're going to go back to downward facing dog here after we stretch the right hamstring. So straightening the right leg, stretching the right hamstring. And then instead of going to standing forward bend, take a nice another stretch in the hips and then take it back to downward facing dog. Good, all right, let's do this variation in downward dog. I've walked the feet in just a little bit, taking the right hand to the left ankle. Just stretch the shoulders. And then change hands. So see if you can reach the right ankle with your left hand. Good, all right. So walking your feet about a foot's distance in, so you make a pyramid shape, and then walk your hands to your feet, taking your index and middle fingers around your big toes. Push your big toes into your fingers, and then pull up on your fingers at the same time. Elbows go out to the side a little bit. Lift the sit bones. Good, and then release your bind, soften the knees and roll up. One vertebra at a time. Nice big stretch huh, for the hamstrings. Have a nice stretch up in mountain pose. Little back bend. And then hands to your heart. Good, okay. So let's do tree pose together for our balance. So if you shift your weight to your left foot and bring your right foot onto your left leg. Could be like this, a little ballerina tree. Got my toes on my calf here, or you can bring your right leg further up. And then the branches of your tree. Any kind of tree you like. Okay, so taking those wings down slowly, slowly. So as you move in tree, you're still very quiet inside, right? Find that sweet spot. And then you release your right leg down to the mat. Give your left leg a little shake. And then shift your weight to the four corners of your right foot. Fix your gaze. Find that sweet spot. Once you've found it, you can let those branches open up. Good, and then when you bring your arms down, you reconnecting to that still point inside. That present momentness. your legs a little shake. And then let's jump out to a triangle. So this is an easy triangle, taking your right toes out. The heel of your right foot is lined up with the arch of your left foot. Taking the arms out, we're going to go ahead and move into triangle. Good. Inhale, coming up. Now change your feet the other way. So the right toes come in a little bit, the left toes point out. So we're reaching over the left leg, triangle the other way. Good. Inhale, coming up. Let's try that one more time. So just change your feet the other way. Reach over your right leg and tilt. Inhale, using your core to come up. Change your feet the other way. On an exhale, reach over your left leg and tilt. Good. Inhale, coming all the way up. And then release your arms down. Have the feet facing forward. Legs a little bit wider. Interlacing your fingers behind you. Give your shoulders a little squeeze or a little back bend. And then forward bend. Hinging from your waist, hands over your head. Good. Now, sort of like what we did in downward facing dog, taking your left hand to your right ankle, twisting to the right, head to your right knee if you can reach. Good. And then change sides. So reach your right hand over to your left ankle and twist. Left hand up. Head towards your left knee if you can reach. Good. And then back to the center. We're going to walk to the lunge and then walk to downward facing dog. So turn the long ways on your mat, finding that easy lunge, and then step back to downward facing dog. Good. And let's come to the plank. Okay. We haven't done too much strengthening today. So here's a little side plank. Remember, if side plank is too much for your wrist, you can do it with your right knee down. I've got my feet stacked, or you can have feet side by side. But again, finding that sweet spot of stillness in your balance. Good. All right, let's do the other side. So I'm stacking my feet. Yours could be side by side like that. Good. And then back to the plank. Knees, chest, chin to cobra. This is an exhale. Cobra is the inhale. Good. And pushing back to child's pose. And then rolling up one vertebra at a time. So shake your legs out. I'm going to go through the steps to the shoulder stand. You may already know it. You may not. So even if you know it, you might want to watch. Here's how you do a shoulder stand safely. So first thing is when you roll down to lying on your back, it's important that everything's straight. So that's why I like to come down this way, looking at my feet all the way down. And then if you have a ponytail like me, you pull it away. If you don't have a ponytail, you can simply interlace your fingers behind your head, give your neck a little squeeze so that everything stays nice and lined up. Once you come down, having your hands on the mat, bringing your legs up, either one at a time or together like me. I like to stretch the back in the plow. first. You could also do this knees on the forehead. Once you're in your plow or variation, taking your hands on your back, not pressing on your spine. Wiggle your elbows in a little bit, or your hands can be on your sacrum. And then walk your hands up your back a little bit. Now, to come out of shoulder stand, the reverse, bringing your feet behind you in the plow, or knees on the forehead. Giving your shoulders a little squeeze by interlacing your fingers if that's available for you, and then placing your arms flat, your hands flat on the mat. As you roll down, you're trying to keep your legs as close to your body as you can, pressing into your arms. So pushing into your arms and your hands so you come down slowly. Trying to keep your head also in contact with the mat. So to do this takes a lot of flexibility actually in your hamstrings and your lower back, and a lot of strength in your core. So it might take a little practice before you can roll down like this and get the stretch all the way along the spine and the back. And bringing your legs down slowly. Once you come all the way down from shoulder stand, we're going to rock from side to side. So bringing your knees to your chest and massage out your low back. Good. Taking the arms out, shoulder height, gluing your inseams together. Take the knees over to the right, head to the left. In a spinal twist, again to stretch out the lower back and the spine. Right hand presses your knees together. Close your eyes and breathe long and deep. Good. Inhale, engage your core, coming back to the center, and then gluing your inseams together again. Take your knees over to the left. Head to the right, so that right shoulder blade is staying as close to the mat as it can be. Good, and then coming back to the center. When you come back to the center, we're going to do one more pose, which is the fish, which is the counter pose to the shoulder stand. So in the fish, same thing as with shoulder stand, it's important that everything's lined up. So you can interlace your fingers, give the back of your neck a little stretch, and look down your body and make sure everything's straight. Then the back of the neck stays nice and long. Taking your arms by your sides, just like shoulder stand, this time sliding one arm underneath you and then the other arm, wiggling your elbows under you a bit. Inhale, pushing into your elbows, so you're coming all the way up onto your elbows. Looking straight ahead again to keep that alignment. Lift in the chest, drop the head back, and then let the top of your head touch. And breathe long and deep. Couple more deep breaths. Good, and then we're going to release down from the fish and bring your knees back to your chest. So again, give your lower back a little stretch, a little massage from rocking from side to side. And then take hold of the ankles from the insides of your legs. or holding onto the outsides of your feet or your big toes, pulling your knees into your armpits. For Happy Baby, another really great stretch for the lower back. Good, and then soles of your feet together, bringing the soles of your feet together down to the mat, hands on the belly, diaphragmatic breath. So belly rises when you breathe in, belly drops as you breathe out. Good. Now I'm going to hold space for you while you relax in Savasana. So you can stay in Baddha Konasana or lying Shavasana, any lying release pose that feels good to you with your eyes closed and connecting to that sweetness within, like a well, a very sweet, delicious water. Very, very deep well. And the water in the well is very still and very loving. You can imagine this sweet spot inside. That knowingness or feelingness that everything is okay in this moment, irregardless of what your mind is telling you. So feel into that. The okayness of this moment. Feel it in your feet, in your legs, your back, in your spine. Feel it in your arms, in your hands, in your breath, in your guts, in your belly. Feel it in your beautiful face, inside your brain, your nervous system. That sweet, still presence. The okayness with here and now. And letting go of stress and worry. Just be here and now. Good, now taking a deep breath in. Fill and empty your lungs. Start to add some movement. And then taking the arms back, have a nice stretch. And then rolling to one side and joining me in a meditation pose. And I wish you a beautiful, peaceful rest of your day. And we'll see you next time at Open Heart Yoga Center. Namaste. Thanks for joining me. Namaste.